Might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break.
Like a ghost thing. With the ass, like I don't care, baby, by the way.
Because I'm happy alone if you feel like a little. Because I'm happy alone if you feel like happiness is true. Because I'm happy alone if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy
alone if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Here comes that news, talking this and that. Give me all you got and don't hold it back.
I should probably warn you I'll be just fine. Things to do, don't waste your time. Here's why.
Because I'm happy alone if you feel like because I'm happy alone if you feel like happiness is true. Because I'm happy alone if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy
alone if you feel like that's what you want to do.
happy with me down. Can't help it. Happy with me down. Your love's too happy with me down. Can't help it. 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 Happy with me down. Because I'm happy alone if you feel like you are. Because I'm happy alone if you feel like happiness is true. Because I'm happy alone if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy alone if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Thank you so much to Ottertune. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Otterbein. I invited Ottertune here tonight as a special surprise to begin this evening because I think their energy and their song, that song in particular, really captures the true spirit of homecoming. I hope you can feel how excited our students are to celebrate this great weekend tradition, and we look forward to seeing many of you tomorrow at our Saturday homecoming activities. But tonight we are here in honor of our 7 Alumni Award recipients. It has been a pleasure getting to know these talented alumni over the past 6 months, and as they are tremendous leaders in their places of work, in their communities, and for their alma mater. And as we talk about leaders, there are many here I would like to introduce to you. First, President Crandall, please stand, and her husband Richard Gilbert. And there are also several Board of Trustee members here tonight. Some are on their way, still coming from other events, but please wave or stand as you're able as I call your name. Chris Kaiser, Cheryl Herbert and Rebecca Prince-Horn, I think they're still on their way over. Board of Trustee Emeritus Bill Evans. Former board members, John McGaw, I think still on the way over. Nicholas Hill and Connie Leonard. And next, our University Executive Leadership Team. Vice President of Student Affairs, Bob Gatti. Vice President of Institutional Advancement, Heidi Tracy. And I would like to thank Heidi personally, as she is a great mentor of mine, and she also leads our entire advancement division with enthusiasm and a clear vision of success. So as you'll see throughout the weekend, we are very excited, and we're excited for the coming year. So thank you, Heidi, for believing in us, encouraging, and supporting us along the way. Chief of Staff Christy Robbins, I think, is on her way too. And the Deans of the Colleges represented this evening, Barb Schachter and Wendy Sherman-Heckler. All right. And then finally, our Alumni Council members who make this awards ceremony possible. Sean Donnelly, I think they're all upstairs. Sean Donnelly, Margaret Doon, Matthew Doyley, Chuck Erickson, Loretta Heigl, Chris Kaiser, Connie Leonard, Nancy Paul, James Prysock, and Marge Trent. Thank you for your volunteer time and alumni pride. Now on with the evening, I would like to bring forward Chris Kaiser, who I just mentioned is a current Board of Trustee member and a past member of the Alumni Council. He is also a proud member of the class of 1977. I have had the opportunity to work with Chris on a number of projects, most importantly, the creation of the Young Alumni Awards in 2011. Chris was instrumental in writing the award descriptions, has served on the selection committee all 4 years, and has dutifully attended each award ceremony. So Chris, welcome to the stage and thank you.
Thanks very much, Kara. I wish you left 1 year after that conversation there, because this is the Young Alumni Award, and I kind of wondered why you picked someone from 77 to do that. I mean, I am barely hanging on to middle age. Anyway, I promise I will be brief. Good evening, or should I say great evening. You know, I am honored to be here to welcome you to the 4th Annual Otterbein Young Alumni Awards. This program was started, as Kara said, 4 years ago by the Alumni Council. And this was a way to recognize our up-and-coming young alumni who have not only achieved great accomplishments within their chosen field, but also exhibited leadership both in their work and their service. The 5 award categories mirror the 5 cardinal experiences which have become a more formal part of Otterbein University's curriculum since about 2007. But experiential learning has always been a part of the Otterbein experience, and in fact is part of their mission statement. I can tell you from personal experience, having had an internship in the winter of 76, 77, coffee to get out of bed and to get to work, and those habits have stayed with me. And I am forever indebted to my professor who encouraged me to do that. And I know that many of you have that same indebtedness. But that led me on my career path. Otterbein was founded on the principles of inclusiveness and has continued to excel in admittance policies, diversity, acceptance, and engagement of faculty, staff, and students. And many in this room have helped shape that history. And many in this room have benefited from that history. But to me, Otterbein's willingness to adapt and change, along with the institution's current leadership, many of you who you have just met, mean that the best days of Otterbein lie ahead. Similarly, while the accomplishments of our awardees tonight are great, and I'm humbled by that, I truly believe that their best days lie ahead also. So to our awarded recipients, I want you to know this is a richly rewarding experience to have this program develop over 4 years. Kara's done a great job in elevating this evening in this award ceremony, and it's a tremendous tradition to have you now be inducted into this hall. So now let's meet our honorees, and I would like to welcome Dr. John Stefano to the stage to introduce the first Young Award recipient.
Actually, I'll say howdy in honor of our first honoree. She knows why you'll hear in a minute. I'm John Stefano, I'm chair of the Department of Theater and Dance. It's my pleasure to present to you Kathryn Felsenthal Stevens, alumna from the class of 1997, as one of the recipients of the 2014 Young Alumni Award for Community Engagement. This award is presented to alumni who have exemplified the university's philosophy of concern and commitment to society by contributing to the common good. Kathryn came to Otterbein as a musical theater major from Longview, Texas, a small city about 2 hours east of Dallas, in the fall of 1993. She was one of the first students I recruited. I loved Kathryn from the first time I met her. Her effervescent personality, positive outlook on life, and desire to make the world a better place made our department and Otterbein a better place. And her work as Val in A Chorus Line, Gertrude in Hamlet, and as Nikki in my production of Charity which we will be reprising across the street next week, is indelibly etched in my memory and in the memories of all who saw her on the stage. Kathryn was our first intern at CBS in New York in her senior year, and after graduation she moved there, but her desire for a family and a better way to contribute to society brought her back to Columbus. From 2009 to 2013, Kathryn worked as the executive director and only paid employee for Walk with the Doc, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to encourage physical activity in people of all ages. The Walk with the Doc program involves a discussion led by a medical professional, blood pressure checks, and the availability of physicians for questions and health refreshments, followed by an hour-long walk where pace and distance are self-determined. Participants develop new perspectives on positions in healthcare, improve their self-management, and enhance their health. Kathryn helped expand Walk with the Doc from a single program in Columbus to, wait for it, 147 programs in 27 states and 4 countries. In 2014, Kathryn joined the SUBS Group for Impact as a full-time coach specializing in healthcare. This group runs fundraising campaigns and assists with training, coaching, and consulting. Kathryn is also a Circle of Red Society member for the American Heart Association. She lost her father at age 53 to heart disease, and after that she participated in many American Heart Association and Central Ohio Diabetes Association events, all to honor and remember her father. People sometimes believe that if you don't make it to Broadway, that you've wasted your BFA degree in musical theater. Some theater programs, training programs around the country consider making it their prime directive, and any student who changes her mind will be excommunicated. We believe differently. At Otterbein, we do professional training from a liberal arts philosophy. It's about educating the whole person. And when one of our alumni chooses to use her education and training in theater to become a teacher, a nurse, or like Kathryn, to work diligently to improve the world through her efforts in the community, we rejoice. Kathryn, you are a model graduate of our musical theater program and of Otterbein University, and I could not be prouder of you if you want to tell me. We thank you for your commitment to your community and dedication to causes that promote the health and well-being of our society. Kathryn Felsenthal Stevens, please come forward to accept your Young Alumni Award.
Wow, speechless. So I have to tell you, when I opened the letter from President Prendel congratulating me for being a recipient of the Young Alumni Award, I was confident her letterhead had been hacked. I read the letter 4 times. I'm still considered a young alumna. I'm still considered a young alumna. I was so excited. I ran into the house screaming at the top of my lungs for my husband and my kids. I'm a young alumna. For this moment, President Prendel, I am forever grateful. Evelyn, Katie, Sonya, Katie, Andre, and Aaron, it's an absolute honor to be recognized alongside you. I am humbled and inspired by your work. I wanted to take this time to thank my mom. She couldn't be here because she's sick, but it is because of her quest to find the perfect college for her young East Texas daughter that I was able to attend Otterbein. It certainly helped that Dr. Stefano had just made his move from SMU. So thank you, Mom, for the gift you gave me, and my experience at Otterbein is priceless. Robin and Ted Snow, Ethel and Andy Miller, Mary and Bill Cruz, Linda and Fred Stevens, thank you for sending your girls to Otterbein. My experience wouldn't have been nearly as delicious without the help of this crew. Becky, Shannon, Amanda, and Megan. A lot of what we shared here has the secrecy of a weekend in Vegas. But I wouldn't trade 1 minute of the crazy, fun, delightful, painful, thank goodness we didn't get arrested time here. We have grown up together, and there are no better friends on earth. In addition to Fred and Linda sending Megan, their daughter, they also sent their son, Matt, the one and only Coach Stevens, who who would have been here tonight if he weren't on the football field coaching. We met outside the stadium in 1995, and we haven't looked back. Matt told me before I came, he says, whatever you do, Kathryn, do not do an interpretive dance of how we met. So, to respect his wishes and to spare you. I'm not going to do it, but it would have been really good. Matt, I love you, and thank you for being my best friend. Dr. Stefano, thank you for accepting me into the musical theater program. What a wonderful 4 years I was able to spend with you and your faculty. Chris Kirk, who I know is diligently working across the street, I thank her for teaching me the power of silence, the power of being still, and the extraordinary journey she gave me in Marcus's walking. In addition to this day, I reference my senior directing project, which was in her class, that I chose to study Glengarry Glen Ross. I appreciate her support for all of the years. There's one other professor, Dr. David DeBenny, who I absolutely adored. And he was the kind of professor that made you want to be better. You got up in the morning wanting to be the best for him. He knew when to tighten up the reins, and he knew when to be easy. He was a friend, an inspiration, and one of the best memories of my college time. And I thank you, Otterbein. On this quaint campus, as if painted by Norman Rockwell, there's magic happening. You provided me much more than a higher education. You taught me how to listen. You gave me the courage to take risks, the confidence to fail. You challenged me. You gave me perspective. You taught me to critically analyze and to ask the right questions. You inspired me to create. For the world is ever changing. But Otterbein, you are solid and eternal. Thank you.
Retired professor from the Department of Art here at Otterbein, and I am definitely an old alumni. It's my pleasure to announce Evelyn Davis Walker as a recipient of the Community Engagement Young Alumni Award. Anyone who knows Evelyn is aware that it would require several pages to outline her creative achievements in art and graphic design. Her commitment to utilize visual communication for community service began when she was a freshman art major at Otterbein. When I first met Evelyn, I thought there must be 48 hours in each one of her days. I was wrong. Now I know that number is at least 72 hours. Evelyn is Associate Professor of Communication Design and Chairperson of Otterbein's Art Department. As a faculty member, she teaches a wide range of courses. She is a prolific artist who exhibits in local, regional, and national exhibitions. Evelyn has her own professional design company. She is tireless in contributing her personal graphic design expertise to support nonprofit community organizations. Some examples include the American Red Cross, Big Brother, Big Sisters, Civil Rights Memorial Foundation, Meals on Wheels, Westerville Area Resources Ministry, as well as numerous projects for the city of Westerville. In 2010, America Online awarded Evelyn a prestigious international art grant, $25,000, to fund her project proposal. Over 9,000 people throughout the world submitted ideas for funding. Evelyn was selected as one of only 25 grant recipients. Her award-winning project underlines her commitment to use her artistic skills in service to a broad community. And I'm going to describe just one part of that proposal. She designed a game called Beloved Memories to assist Alzheimer's and dementia patients who experience memory loss. The game follows a traditional card game, which maybe some of you have played, called Memory or Concentration, in which people match two cards. The intent of the game is to help improve memory skills of patients. Evelyn meets family members to ask questions about favorite songs, food, colors, and significant events in the patient's lives. From those interviews, she creates customized playing cards for each participant. These cards incorporate photographs and other visual images documenting the person's life. Since receiving the award, Evelyn has worked in area care facilities and individuals to create personalized memory games to help 200 people across the state of Ohio. Evelyn hopes the game will become a model project that can expand beyond Ohio. She says, "I consider Beloved Memories a pilot project. I would eventually like to see it have nationwide impact." Knowing Evelyn's boundless energy and prodigious work ethic, her vision may very well be a dream which will come true. Evelyn, will you please come forward to receive the Young Alumni Community Engagement Award.
Well, I'm definitely not going to be able to do what Kathryn did. I'm not that kind of outgoing individual. Many of my students would probably object to that. They know that I'm very outwardly when I'm teaching, but when I'm in this type of situation, I am very much an introvert. So please bear with me. And in true form, I have props. So the Beloved Memories game is a very personal project for me. As many of you may have read with the bio and what Joanne was saying, it's a very, and I hope I don't get too emotional, but it is something that is affecting my family as well as my husband's family. And I felt as if I could somehow empower my area of expertise in somehow helping others. And so the memory game is, one example is for my husband's grandmother, who I never really got to meet. She actually passed away years before I even met my husband. But the game itself was so simple that I did not think that the opportunity to make this into a professional game, it was simple to the people and simple to myself, but it was complex when trying to describe it. So that's why a lot of times I just simply bring the actual object itself. But I am truly honored in receiving this award, this project. While it's simple, I want people to talk to one another. That was the whole intent of this project. I want people to feel comfortable talking about Alzheimer's. This is a disease that seems to have a stigma attached to it. People try to hide their loved ones' memory loss and cover up. I witnessed that firsthand with my grandfather. And I felt as if we need to, as a society, be able to talk with one another. It first has to start at home. So when working with family members, I asked them throughout the project, how did this project make you feel? And many times it helps connect them to their loved one again. And that, for me, was all that I needed. I just wanted people to talk. And hopefully this project on a more grander scheme will hopefully allow the stigma of Alzheimer's to diminish throughout society. But I know that's a grand idea, and I'm just one individual, but hopefully this will spread its wings and get some national attention that I can then release and let go and be free. So I want to thank a few folks. First, the many men and women who support their loved ones who have memory loss. It's extremely difficult, not only for that person going through it, but for the family members. So thank you for those individuals that put the time and effort into caring for their loved ones. It's a thankless job, so I would like to personally thank them. Also, the people who work with these individuals at assisted care living facilities, the activities directors and the art directors at those locations put in a lot of time and effort to help me sit down with individuals and be able to work with them. So thank you for that. I'm also grateful for one of two faculty members that as a student really touched my life. And I would like to recognize both Joanne Stickright and Nicholas Hill. And as a student, former student, and then now a professor, there was no question when I was offered the opportunity to come back. Well, I should say the snow was something I did not want to come back to, but I think it speaks volumes that two individuals will surpass the winters of Ohio. So thank you both. You've mentored me and you've supported me, and your friendship means the world to me. So thank you, Joanne, and thank you, Nicholas. Lastly, I would not be here whatsoever without the support of my husband, Stephen Walker, very in the back there, very last row. So, as a fellow artist, he also shies away from the attention. So, but you're not going to escape, so stay right there. Locked in. Without you, honestly, I would not be here. I would not be where I am professionally, but more importantly, I would not be the person who I am without you. You are my rock, without which I cannot imagine life. I don't want to go too far, but Stephen, you give me the right amount of criticism, and criticism I don't even ask for. And there he is. You're going to give it to me, so thank you for that. But more importantly, you listen to me, especially during very emotional days. Sometimes I would listen to about 9 hours straight of family interviews with loved ones, and that is very emotion draining. And I would come home, and there he would be with a wonderful frozen glass of 7-Up that I can't drink. So he had that for me the minute I come home, and it's those little things that just make life with you amazing. So thank you for the 7-Up, and thank you for being part of my life. So thank you, everyone.
Good evening. I'm Laurie, Professor of Psychology, and it is my pleasure to announce Kathryn Mixod-Terhune, alumna from the class of 2003, as the recipient of the 2014 Research Achievement Young Alumni Award. This award recognizes outstanding achievement through innovative research. Tonight, we honor Katie for her extensive clinical and academic contributions in the field of gerontology and social work through her research on Alzheimer's disease and family caregiving. Katie and I first met during summer registration before her freshman year, and it was my good fortune that I happened to be advising that particular summer session. Immediately, I recognized that she was a student with a promising future ahead of her. She was excited about beginning her studies, and she was clearly bright, but more importantly, she was poised and exuded a warmth uncommon in such a young adult. I quickly recruited her to work in my attention laboratory, and Katie served as my research assistant from her freshman through her junior year. Together, we published a peer-reviewed article that appeared in the European Journal of Personality. In addition to taking classes and spending countless hours in the laboratory, Katie worked at the Alzheimer's and Dementia Unit at the Alter Care Nursing Home in Westerville to pay her way through school. She would attend classes in the morning after she completed a night shift at Alter Care. Those were long, hard days, but she flourished. She derived great satisfaction from her work at Alter Care and continued to excel in her studies. In fact, Katie won the 2001, 2002, 2003 awards at Otterbein for the highest GPA of her class. As an honor student, Katie designed a most creative and ambitious thesis that allowed her to develop further her interest in gerontology. Working with Laura Bennett Murphy and myself, Katie designed an enrichment program for patients on her unit at Alter Care, incorporating such activities as arts and craft and singing. And please let me be clear, the enrichment program did not occur in the middle of the night while she was working. Katie worked the night shift, took classes during the day, and then went back to Alter Care to oversee the enrichment program in the late afternoon. She might have a few hours of downtime to do homework before she headed back off to work again. Beyond the fact that Katie didn't sleep during this time, this project was an enormous undertaking. I will highlight only a few of the challenges she faced. Securing ethics approval and obtaining informed consent for these patients, designing enrichment activities, and finding students to volunteer to assist in executing those activities. Developing a task that was an appropriate pre- and post-test assessment of cognitive function in Alzheimer's patients, and finding a control facility where she could administer the pre- and post-test assessments without the enrichment program. And she managed to do that and more. The findings from her research were impressive. Patients receiving the enrichment program maintained greater attentional focus than those without the program. Katie's hard work earned her an outstanding honors thesis award that year, and importantly, she was admitted into the renowned gerontology PhD program at the University of Kentucky. Just to give you some reference, this is the place with famous nun study that has gotten so much attention. In only Katie's style, with that endless reserve of energy, Katie decided to pursue 2 degrees at the same time. So while working on her PhD in gerontology, where she focused on Alzheimer's disease and caregiving, she simultaneously earned a master's degree in social work. Along the way, she won the very prestigious John A. Hartford Doctoral Fellowship in 2007. Currently, Katie has her own clinical practice in Lexington, where she counsels family caregivers, among other patients, and she is an adjunct professor at the College of Social Work at the University of Kentucky. It is important to note that Katie was nominated for this award by her husband, John, who clearly supports her work and commitment to her field. And it appears that Katie continues to thrive with a hectic schedule. She and John are parents to 6 beautiful and active children. Katie, will you please come forward to accept your 2014 Alumni?
Thank you, Dr. Rhodes, for that beautiful introduction. And thank you all. I feel so privileged and grateful to be given this award tonight. My experience at Otterbein was one of the most joyful and evolving times in my life. I do not believe that any other institution could have provided a more thorough and substantial education. The infrastructure of Otterbein University and the dedication of the faculty in the Department of Psychology and in surrounding departments provided the ideal formula for the development of intellectual ability, critical thinking skills, and competency to create change. Dr. Rhodes discussed that memory back in the fall of 1999 when we first met, and I remember that day clearly. I originally was not allowed to be in the honors program because my ACT score was, I believe, 1 point too low. And that really upset me because I knew I could do it. So I talked to Dr. Rose on that day in fall of 1999 asking permission to be part of the honors program, and she approached Dr. Nancy Woodson about it, who said absolutely, let her in. And that was such a turning point for me because had I not been able to complete the honors program and do my research, I don't know that I would have ever pursued my gerontological research. It was through that research with my Alzheimer's clients and their caregivers that I really developed a love for gerontological research, and that paved the way for my doctoral work. So thank you, Dr. Rhodes and Dr. Woodson, for saying yes and not letting that 1 point prevent me from completing my honors work. While here, I was given many opportunities, very gracious opportunities. I had the opportunity to travel, to lead, to execute my own research, to speak at conferences, and to publish. What a gift. And what better way to return this great privilege than to honor my beloved institution and its faculty by utilizing my abilities that were given to me here to generate change for the greater good. President Kendall, to the wonderful faculty in the Department of Psychology, Dr. Rose, Dr. Laura Bennett-Murphy, Dr. Kraft, Dr. Acker, Dr. Hatter, Dr. Sponsor, and to other faculty who played such a large role in my life, John Buckles, Lois Sudi, Dr. Doherty, and to my wonderful and supportive family, thank you kindly for this privilege.
I'm John Ludlum. I'm a professor in the Department of Communication. I also teach in our Leadership Studies program. And it is a high honor and privilege to present to you Peyton from McGrath, alumna from the class of 1997, as one of the recipients of the 2014 Professional Achievement Young Alumni Award. This award is presented to alumni who have experienced high level of career advancement and whose contributions have significantly enhanced their professions. Katie graduated from Otterbein with a degree in speech education and English education. She participated on our debate team and was a cheerleader at Otterbein. You might have thought I forgot that. I also found out she was in Host and Tour, and one of her proudest accomplishments, which I understand she shares with our coming recipient, is that she babysat Susan Millsap's children, and they survived. She was a recipient when she was here of two of our department's prizes, the Kettner Speech Prize, which is given annually to the outstanding member of the forensics team, and the Pollock Speech Award, which is given to our outstanding graduate in speech education. And as far as I know, Katie, you're one of the few people to ever accomplish that double, and perhaps the only one. After Otterbein, she received a master's degree in labor and human relations from, of course, the Ohio State University. She began her career at Spirion, followed by the Ohio Board of Education, and then 5 years with Limited Brands. In 2008, Katie was hired to lead the development of a human resources department at Fulgren Moortime and spent almost 4 years as the sole human relations practitioner for over 150 associates. She is now a senior vice president and director of human resources at Fulgren Moortime. During her time at Fulgren Moortime, Katie has overseen a number of initiatives that have benefited both the organization and its employees. She helped to create and develop Fulgren Moortime University, easy for a speech person to say, an internal training and professional development program that not only provides formal training, but now includes a book club and a lunch and learn program. Her department started a health and wellness week for the company, and they actively support Pelotonia and Operation Feed, two programs that their associates have said they're very passionate about. And they even have a Pelotonia team that rides every year, and I haven't asked Katie yet if she rides on that team or not. She's been recognized twice by Columbus CEO magazine as a finalist for its HR Excellence Executive of the Year Award in 2012 and 2013. She was recognized nationally by Workforce Management magazine as a recipient of the 2013 Game Changers Award. And according to Neil Moortime, the CEO of and president of Fulgren Moortime, who was also her primary nominee for this award, her work has contributed directly to the agency's recognition as one of PR News's top 10 places, or top places to work in the country in 2012 and 2013, and as one of the Bulldog Reporters Agency of the Year in 2011, 2012, and 2013. I talked with my colleagues about Katie, and what we all remember about Katie is her smile and the enthusiasm and the joy that she brought to each and every class. And so on behalf of my colleagues, Katie, I can tell you that we're not surprised by your success at all. We're very, very proud of you. And Katie, will you please come forward and accept your Young Alumni Award?
The past 20 years has been an amazing journey. I've worked for some big companies, small companies, had successes and failures, have met and worked with some amazing people and mentors along the way. But none of this would have been possible without the support of my family, my wonderful husband, and my beautiful children, and my experience at Otterbein. The personal attention I received at Otterbein was invaluable. The professors and administrators cared not just about the curriculum, but about each student as an individual. They pushed me to think differently and to see the world more broadly. But more importantly, they helped me to be the best person I could be. I remember once in Dr. Ludlum's class, I questioned him about a grade on paper. And the conversation was something like, you could do better, I expect more from you, is this your best work? And he was right, I could do better. I quickly learned that even when no one is looking, or you think it doesn't matter, someone is likely looking and something likely does matter. And it's important to do your best work no matter what. I also spent many hours with Dr. Millsap, who was teaching me the fundamentals of becoming a good debater. But she was really teaching me how to develop and present a strong, solid point of view, and with facts to back it up. And not to be afraid to push and question the status quo. These lessons have been extremely valuable throughout my professional career. Otterbein instilled in me the importance of lifelong learning and intellectual curiosity, which helps me to shape policies and practices in the workplace every day. 20 years ago, when I came to Otterbein, I was in awe of the talented, passionate, creative, worldly students that were my classmates. Tonight, I'm still in awe and the amazing work that each one of tonight's honorees has accomplished, and proud and humbled to be here tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm John Buckles, an honorary alum from the class of 2004 and a former professor of communication here at Otterbein. It's my pleasure to announce Sonya Lowmiller, Higginbotham, class of 98, as one of the recipients of the 2014 Professional Achievement Young Alumni Award. As Professor Ludlum just said, this award is presented to Otterbein graduates who have demonstrated a high level of ambition and professional excellence, which has resulted in significant career achievement. I've known Sonya from our first week here on campus, and I can actually remember the time when we first met. It was right across the street in the lobby of the old communication house, and she was introduced as the new work-study student assistant. And right from the beginning, we could all tell that Sonya was really someone special. Her personality was refreshing, her gift mix was evident, her faith was real, and that all combined with a solid, grounded family upbringing in Minerva, Ohio, a place she was very proud of, and she took us a tour of her farm, winter break one time. She quickly, though, became really an influencer, a real force on this campus. She was throwing herself fully into virtually anything she did. Organizations such as PRSSA, EKT Sorority, Otterbein Christian Fellowship, we sensed even then that she was destined for greatness, and not just because of her talents, which were well known, but because of her favor with people, due to her attention and her care for others. And I distinctly remember a time during her first quarter here when the two of us took a struggling student who was about to drop out and withdraw from school. So we took her to Friendly's restaurant on South State Street. And I remember Sonya just appealing to her, but just stick it out the quarter. Just stay till Thanksgiving, and if you still don't like it, then you can withdraw. Well, I forwarded the tape, and that person did stay. She not only stayed, she became a campus leader herself and graduated magna cum laude. And I think about that because you can read Sonya's whole bio about professional achievement. It seems really a good fit to us that part of her current responsibilities as the Director of Corporate Communication at Worthington Industries is the fact that she's developed and managed a $1.5 million philanthropic budget department. $1.5 million just for that. She's certainly, we are all impressed with how quickly she has risen to such a prestigious position in her company and in her industry. $3 billion company, 5,000 employees, 80 facilities all around the world. We're proud about that. We're proud that she was recognized among other honors by Business First magazine as one of the 40 people to watch under the age of 40, and the fact that she was only one of 18 people in the nation that was selected for Worthington Industries Senior Leadership Academy. But we are just as impressed with the achievement of being true to who she is herself, and always will be, still influencing others for the common good in the marketplace and everywhere she goes, serving as a board member for such organizations as Junior Achievement, the Salvation Army, Prism Marketing, and the Westerville Public Library. And so we believe she is a 360-degree achiever, and she's made Otterbein very proud, and so we want to celebrate her today. Sonya, would you come forward and accept the 2014
Thank you. I would like to thank Otterbein, the Alumni Council, and Dr. Kendall for this recognition. It's really humbling and inspiring to be here tonight and join the ranks of the winners that have come before me. I remember my first days at Otterbein and calling my mom in tears because I was so homesick. And she gave me a sage piece of advice. Go wash your car. Go wash my car? Well, what I didn't realize at the time is that she was saying, just do something and you'll feel better. And that's really how I've tried to live my life, just by doing something that matters. As an 18-year-old trying to figure out what my life would become at Otterbein, Otterbein was there providing experiences that helped shape who I am today. God led me to organizations like Otterbein Christian Fellowship and surrounded me with people like John Buckles and Bob Buchanan that taught me to lean on him and he would direct my paths. Otterbein gave me confidence to believe that I could do anything no matter my age. I learned the importance of community and built relationships that will last a lifetime. I met my best friend and my husband. What more could I ask for? Then there were the professors. Ludlum, Reynolds, Millsap, Shively, Sabbath, and others. They became my friends and my mentors. And they set me on a path toward success. It was actually Dr. Carol Sabbath who connected me with my internship at Worthington Industries 17 years ago. And yes, I do realize that Otterbein's incoming freshmen were in diapers 17 years ago. But she brought me to a company much like my beloved Otterbein, a family that cares for its employees and provides plenty of opportunity to do something that matters. My first boss at Otterbein is here tonight, Roger Campbell. Thank you so much for getting me that start at Worthington. You know, it's rare today to stay at one company as long as I have. But it's also rare that one company would provide the kind of opportunities and challenges that I've had at Worthington. Kathy Little, my boss, my mentor, my friend. Thank you for always trusting me and providing me opportunities that most would only dream of at my age. I believe that together, we've made Worthington Industries a better place. My parents, who are here tonight, thank you for always believing in me and showing me what it means to live with integrity as you have. My aunt, for showing me that dreams do come true. And my husband, Carl. I can't imagine living this life without a partner like you. You are my biggest cheerleader, and I thank you. And my kids, the stars of the night, who are here. They, you know what, I could just imagine them walking around Rush Hall one day as students here at Otterbein. How about that? For me, it was Otterbein College. For today's students, it is Otterbein University. But no matter the name, to me, it means community. A community that collectively stretched and molded me into who I am today. And for that, I thank you.
Well, Sonya, we have some applications for your kids tonight. Well, good evening. Wasn't today a great day? Beautiful. Tomorrow's going to be better, so come join us for homecoming. My name is Bob Gatti. I'm Vice President and Dean for Student Affairs. It is my distinct privilege to announce Andre Lampkin's alumnus from the class of 2003 as one of the recipients of the 2014 Young Alumni Award for Leadership and Citizenship. This award serves to recognize leaders among Otterbein's alumni community, and as you can read in the program, Andre has an incredible passion and commitment to service. He has demonstrated outstanding leadership and has orchestrated meaningful change in his profession and in his community. I've known Andre since he transferred to Otterbein in 2001, and I followed his professional career after graduation. I nominated Andre for this award because as a student, Andre was an exceptional campus leader and active in community engagement. Finding that the African American Student Union was floundering, he quickly took a leadership role in the organization, and he was later named president of his fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. Over the years, students have taught me many valuable lessons. What I learned from Andre is that the work you do must have meaning. He was always passionate and committed to the work he did at Otterbein, but this work had to have meaning for him. As an alumnus, he has also committed much time and energy in serving others. He has returned to campus on a number of occasions to speak with our students, and his words and passion are always inspiring. And students always speak highly of the work and what he had to say after he's left. He has been an active member of the African American Alumni Network, and he also supports his peers, including being an editor of a recently released book written by Rashawn Wilson, class of 2002. And Rashawn's here somewhere. There he is. Andre's commitment to being a good citizen and community leader are evident by his past professional experiences. Just as at Otterbein, community engagement has been a common thread in his career choices. Human Service Manager at the Columbus Metropolitan Area Community Action Organization, Education Manager at the Columbus Urban League, Community Education and Engagement Manager for the Ohio's Treasurer of the State, where he developed and implemented a financial literacy program throughout the state, and currently Manager of the Community and Small Business Outreach at Vermont Energy Investment Corporation, Efficiency Smart, where he works to cut energy expenses for low-income families and small businesses. Outside of work, Andre is engaged in leadership and youth development, volunteering for various community organizations, including mentoring teen mothers and fathers at the Center for Healthy Families in Columbus, volunteering as the boys' step team coach. Are you going to give us a demonstration? at Dominican Middle School and designing a mentorship program at risk teens in Gahanna Jefferson schools in the Franklin County Children's Services. It would be impossible to adequately describe all the qualities which Andre possesses, those that have made him such a positive influence in the lives of others. There is no one who is more dedicated, sincere, loyal, or compassionate. Andre gives freely of his time and energy in the development of excellent programs which are focused on others. Many of us have benefited from knowing Andre, and I shall be eternally grateful for his many contributions to me personally and to all whom he has come in contact at Otterbein. Not only is he a student, an alumnus, but more importantly, a friend. Andre, would you come up and receive your award?
Good evening, everyone. To the other honorees this evening, I'm truly humbled to have my name mentioned with yours. To President Crandall, Alumni Association and Selection Committee for these awards, I'm honored. To Dean Gatti, thank you very much for such a great introduction. I too consider you a friend. Dean Gatti, you've been a mentor. And one of the things that I most delight in regards to my experience here at Otterbein is always knowing that I had a mentor and a supporter and an advocate in Dean Gatti. As it relates to the things that I've learned at Otterbein, the list is too countless to begin to name this evening. But one of those things that always stands out is that I knew I was in a place where I was supported, where I was being nurtured, and where I was being allowed to foster the kind of development that would contribute to my manhood, thus contributing to my ability to be a strong father and a strong husband and a strong member of our community. So I thank you immensely, Dean Gatti. I literally grew up on the other side of the tracks, and there are two women who aren't here this evening to see me accept this award, but they instilled in me the value that I place in serving.
Take your time.
My grandmother would buy extra groceries because she knew that our neighbors would come knocking and ask to borrow a cup of sugar or a dozen of eggs. She allowed those folks to take what she had purchased with them in mind as if she never even knew they were coming for it. She allowed them to maintain a level of dignity and respect that always stood out. And then there's my aunt, Faith Lyons. I have more cousins in the city of Columbus than I could ever count because she constantly mentored the youth that she was charged with teaching through Columbus City Schools. Through those two women, I really developed a passion for giving back. And when I got to Otterbein, it wasn't because I sought out Otterbein because I knew how great Otterbein was. I was a student at Catholic University, and I served the God of a second chance. And that's exactly what he gave me when he gave me Otterbein. I wasn't a great student, had potential to be, but I wasn't. I had not yet learned how to study, how to pursue my academics with the fervor that I later did here at Otterbein. But once I got here, two things stood out. Out of all the conversations I had in the education department, and in the student activities office, and in residence life, I was told two things. We need you to come here and have an impact through contributing to our campus community, and we need you to leave it better than it was when you came. It's funny because those were the exact same two things that Otterbein did for me. Contributed to my life and made me better when I left here. To my father, I thank you for allowing me to sit in the audience of your life because it's making me a better man. To my best friend in the whole wide world, Rayshawn Wilson, Otterbein gave me you. Not much more we need to say. To my sister in T Street, I thank you for always holding me accountable. There was a point in time where I didn't think finishing my degree was important. You never let it leave my sight. That piece of paper did not mean as much as the experience I gained here. But to the world, it made me more important and more relevant. And I appreciate you. To my nephew, Christopher Street, we have conversations on a regular basis, and all of them are centered around making you a better young man so that you get to be a better man. I tell you all the time that it's not about perfection. I stand in front of you as a living witness that it's never been about perfection. Always about being better tomorrow than you were today. To my Uncle Frank, I thank you so much for always being the man at my back. If ever there was a need or a want or the desire to have a conversation, I've always left those interactions sharpened. And I thank you and I appreciate you. To my Otterbein family, there are folks that we are born with, and those are the families that we don't choose. Tonight I'm glad to stand in front of you and say that I still choose Otterbein University as my family. I'm humbled, I'm honored to stand before you this evening, and I thank you.
There's one more left up here. I was going to say that we'd save the best for last, but it's clearly, we didn't have the best all evening. It's just a remarkable, wonderful experience. Good evening, I'm Michael Hogarth, Chair and Professor in the Department of Biology and Earth Science. It's my pleasure to announce Erin Stewart-Miller, alumna from the class of 1997, as one of the recipients of the 2014 Young Alumni Award for Leadership and Citizenship. Alumni who received this award have demonstrated outstanding leadership abilities and have orchestrated meaningful change as leaders in a profession or community. They are committed, caring individuals to whom the Otterbein community may look up to as personifying the Otterbein mission. Erin majored in ecology and environmental science at Otterbein. She was one of my advisees and one of my research students, who worked with me to help protect endangered species of mussels and other aquatic animals in the Walhondy River and Killbuck Creek in north central Ohio, as well as the Blanchard River in the northwestern part of the state. In fact, I have a picture of Erin, Leah Gillig, and Melissa Altuck, all three very accomplished in their own fields today, carrying a john boat, that's a small boat, up the banks of the Blanchard River, following a long day of electroshocking to help understand the relationship between fish and mussels in this river. The Blanchard River supports one of the largest populations in the world of a federally endangered species of mussel called the gray bean. In the photograph, Erin is holding on to the handle on the bow of the boat, while Leah and Melissa are bringing up the stern. As Erin leads the way up the hill, she jokes with me that I should be riding in kingly fashion in this boat if all I planned to do was to take pictures. And she has been leading ever since. First as an intern with the Ohio Environmental Council, where she examined the demographics of environmental organizations in Ohio, to her current position as environmental steward in the office of Mayor Michael E. Coleman. Erin started her career following graduation as a community watershed coordinator with the Ohio Environmental Council and moved from there to executive director of the Friends of the Lower Olentangy Watershed, or FLOW. Following these, she worked for the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, where she was Greenways Project Manager and Director of the Center of Energy and the Environment. In 2009, Erin joined the Mayor's office, where her responsibilities include directing the Mayor's Green Team and managing the Mayor's Office of Environmental Stewardship. Under Erin's leadership,
The city has implemented a comprehensive recycling program that touches over 200,000 households, a roof-mounted solar array that generates electricity to help, among other things, fuel an award-winning greenest fleet in North America, and a deconstruction initiative that turns vacant, derelict homes into building materials for new homes and land into green spaces and gardens. But of special interest to me is Erin's continued work with the city's rivers. Under Erin's watch, the city has worked to remove dams from the Untitled River on the campus of the Ohio State University and the Scioto River. The removal of the Main Street Dam on the Scioto River this past winter has opened 33 acres adjacent to the river as green space and will help connect the downtown with communities along the river. This new connectivity is good for the people of Columbus, and it is good for the organisms that call these rivers home. And her vision for these rivers continues as, even this past week, we have assisted the city of Delaware to begin the process of removing 2 dams on the Olentangy River, just upstream of the Route 23 bridge. Work that really began when Erin was the executive director of Flow. Erin has demonstrated a history of outstanding leadership for these rivers, for the people of Columbus, and for the environment. Her leadership has resulted in important contributions to the health and welfare of the community she touches, be they human communities or communities of bugs and mussels and fish. It is my pleasure to introduce my former student, friend, and colleague, Erin. Will you please come forward and accept your 2014 Young Alumni Award and a copy of that picture.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hogarth, and thank you to all the awardees today. Andre, oh my gosh, I'm like bawling over here. I'm gonna try to pull my mascara up here. But really, I am very honored to be receiving this award tonight. Dr. Hogarth, or Doc, as I affectionately have always called you, you were the best mentor anyone could ever ask for, and the best friend. I relied on you for so many things. You were my confidant. I lean on you, and I truly, truly appreciate everything that you've done for me. You have no idea. You made me accountable for my actions. I will never forget Dr. Hogarth calling my apartment my sophomore year and saying, "Erin, get up. You need to come to class." I never missed a class after that. You gave me the skills I needed to succeed. You knew that I learned best by doing, and you provided the opportunities for me to learn outside of the walls of the university. The field work studying freshwater mussels, it will always be a very fond memory for me. We went through, as Dr. Hogarth said, the Wahonding, the Killbuck, Allen Creek. We tromped through all of the rivers here in central Ohio, and it really opened up my eyes to ecology and the importance of ecological systems and how pollution can affect those systems. I remember digging for mussels, we call it noodling, but I was digging for mussels. We were having a pretty rough day. We weren't finding very many species, and I was leaning down into the river, my face nearly at the water, and this big foam brown thing is floating down the river. And I looked, and as it's like ready to hit my face, I said, "Doc, what is that?" And he said, "Oh, that's just cow dung. Don't swallow the water." So needless to say, I was disgusted, and we were waiting on cow poo. And I think at that moment is when I realized that we as a society really needed to change what we were doing, and we needed to work to preserve the environment for future generations. So that was the moment the cow was going by my face. Doc also encouraged me to take an unpaid internship with the Ohio Environmental Council, which at the time I was working full-time, had 18 credit hours, and taking an additional load was a little rough. But he said, "This will be good for you. This will be good for your future," and he was right. My internship at Ohio Environmental Council led to my career. I started working at the Ohio Environmental Council as soon as I graduated here from Otterbein, and it started the watershed protection efforts across the state of Ohio. So for that, I'm ever grateful, even though I was really stressed out at the time. So today, what I try to do is I try to mentor students. I come to Otterbein and I talk to kids about going into the sustainability field. I meet with adults who like to be in the sustainability field, and I try to give back a little bit of what Doc and Otterbein gave to me. So as Doc said, I've been working in the environmental field for the last 17 years, but for the last 5, I've had the honor of working for the best mayor in the country, Mayor Michael B. Coleman. I was honored that he selected me to be his environmental steward, and I work with an amazingly dedicated team of people. Sherry Kish and Leslie Strader are here tonight. Thank you for being here. We have made amazing progress advancing sustainability initiatives in Columbus, but we still have a lot of work to do. So I'm excited about the future. I hope the mayor will keep me. I know we can and will be the greenest city in America. I want to thank my family who is here today, especially my mom, who is the strongest woman I have ever met in my entire life. She's amazing. And my husband, who is my absolute rock. I adore you. We met here at Otterbein. And our beautiful daughters, Maya and Rachel. You inspire me every single day. I made the mistake of looking at you, baby. In closing, for me, a leader is a good listener. A leader works hard for the betterment of the community while inspiring others to achieve greatness. So my experience at Otterbein has taught me about leadership, community, and community service. And it's taught me, Otterbein's taught me that it's about doing what's right, not necessarily what's easy, and about working hard, but still having fun. So I will forever be grateful to Otterbein. Thank you so much for this honor. I truly appreciate it.
I always think I will make it through this without crying, but I didn't, once again. So anyway, I would like to ask you to join me in giving another round of applause to our It's been a wonderful evening, and on behalf of the Otterbein community, I would like to add my congratulations and thanks to all who were gathered here this evening. First, to the family and friends of tonight's honorees, the awards that were given this evening are the result of the talent and dedication of each recipient. The work was all they're doing. The accomplishment, however, is shared by all of you who have supported and encouraged this impressive group of men and women, which means I would be remiss if I didn't also extend my thanks to the faculty and staff who either helped mentor or nominate these exceptional young alumni. So let's say thank you to our faculty. There's an infrastructure of support at Otterbein that truly enables each student to realize his or her personal best. Our professors and our staff are able to recognize each student's potential because of an intentional and personal investment in the individual. How many stories did we hear about faculty remembering the very first time they met the student? Not only do we provide our students with the smartest way to learn at Otterbein with an integrated studies curriculum model and hands-on learning experience that are both nationally recognized for their excellence, but of equal importance to their development and willingness to take risks is the sense of community that they experience here at Otterbein. They know they belong here, and they know their ambitions and their challenges matter to their professors and mentors and fellow classmates. As a result, when Otterbein students graduate, they truly understand the value of contributing to the common good. It is that unique combination of what they learn, the community they join, and the sense of belonging and the values they live and practice that guarantee Otterbein graduates stand out in their professions and in their communities. They are truly prepared to live lives of purpose. Tonight's honorees and the other past recipients of the Young Alumni Awards are some of the finest examples of this truth. Before joining this celebration, I had the chance to share important news with some of the university's most loyal and long-standing donors and supporters. It's been an exciting evening. We gave them, just as I'm about to give you, an important look into Otterbein's future. Tomorrow, we will publicly launch the largest campaign in Otterbein University's history with an ambitious goal of securing $50 million in support. These funds will be used for campus renewal, to protect and create new spaces and places that inspire learning, discovery, and growth. One of the most visible goals for this priority will be a new campus center. Yes. It's been a long time coming. Yeah. I know Sonya, yeah. They will be used, these funds will be used to support Otterbein's efforts to lead the nation as one of higher education's true model communities. A particularly important priority for this goal will be to create a fund that supports student and faculty travel for research, for internships, and for global engagement and service opportunities. And the funds will also be used to guarantee that Otterbein remains a school of opportunity, ensuring the best, the brightest, and most deserving and most promising students have access to and can afford an Otterbein education. In fact, this entire $50 million campaign places the focus where it has always been placed at Otterbein, on our students. The campaign for Otterbein's future is about investing in our students first. The theme of this campaign is one that you'll become very familiar with in the years ahead. It is a declaration that I believe will unite our community in both purpose and pride. Where Otterbein stands and what it stands for in the higher education community matters. Where our graduates stand as leaders in their professions and their communities matters. Where our Otterbein community stands in its ideals, its values, its service, and its purpose matters. And that is why this campaign reminds us that where we stand matters. I don't have to look any further than the faces in this audience to know that our campaign authentically speaks to the Otterbein experience and the Otterbein way. Stories like those we celebrate tonight remind us all how much an Otterbein education really does matter. Tonight's Young Alumni Award honorees stand where they do, in part because Otterbein stood with them at a critical moment in their understanding of who they might be as leaders, researchers, and volunteers. Their lives, their successes, and their integrity demonstrate the power and the value of an Otterbein education. Institutional research did a little research, and they were able to determine that many of tonight's recipients were awarded some form of aid to ensure their scholarly abilities could be realized as Otterbein students. And I simply cannot think of a better investment in the entire world. I'm going to get going again. No. If you examine the path of each honoree, how each has taken what they've learned and then applied it to advance their professions and their communities, it is clear that these honorees stand for the best of Otterbein's mission, vision, and values. They are citizens of integrity who stand daily for advancing a greater good, and that matters. In fact, these honorees and those we've recognized previously are the most compelling case for why we must ensure that as many talented and promising students have a chance to benefit from what they will uniquely experience at Otterbein. From where I stand, the world has never needed more Otterbein graduates like those we honor tonight than it does this evening. To our honorees, I want you to know that you truly make us very proud, not only because of all that you've accomplished already, but not to challenge you too much, but also because of all that you will stand for in the years ahead. Congratulations again for this honor. Come back home to Otterbein often. Keep us apprised of your achievements, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and help us recruit the next generation of those who should stand where you do tonight. And now, thank you all for standing strong with Otterbein. Thank you. It is my great pleasure pleasure to ask all of you to please stand and join me in singing the Otterbein love song. The words should be on the back of your book, I believe, for those of you who are not familiar with it. And we're very fortunate to have the talents of several of our music students here this evening. These accomplished singers will both lead us in this proud Otterbein tradition.